Hello, welcome back to Bean and Nothingness. Last episode we beat one 3-bean puzzle. Honestly, I think I would have beaten it a lot. Yeah, okay. Beat one 3-bean puzzle. Honestly, the 3-bean puzzle would have gone a lot faster had I stuck to my guns and continued working on what I had. Basically, I tried to solve the puzzle. I found a method that didn't seem to work, and I gave up and I went on a wild goose chase, finding all sorts of other methods that didn't work either. And I went back to the original setup that I had, and it worked. So yeah, unfortunately, that is usually how it is. Okay, with that leaves us with two 3-bean puzzles to solve. We'll do castle next, because we're going clockwise. So it should be this one. Castle, okay. Lots of blocks here. These... Okay, so this one opens there, which means I must step on this at some point. Hi, bunny. And then this opens that only. We have these two, which... Wait, that's weird? Why would... Okay, I don't have any beans to start. I can start by doing stuff here, I guess. Actually, I can bring beans back, but it looks like what happens is that putting a bean here actually closes that, which I clearly don't want, so like, why would I ever do that? I don't know. Okay, we have recipes for bean, sorry, no, vine and cloud. This closes that behind me. Also no idea what the purpose of that is if this pathway is available. And there. Oh, I need to get something there while I'm standing here so I don't get closed off. Interesting. Because I can't just put something there to begin with, otherwise I step on it myself. A vine can't pull anything into that spot, I don't think. And a cloud is completely immobile. So how will something ever be getting on there? Yeah, I can't kill a vine. Nothing here kills vines. So like, if I tried to pull myself across, I would not be doing that either. Yeah, and there's no way to destroy a vine. So once a vine grabs me, I'm like dead, 100%. Okay. Because I was thinking I could step here and then do stuff to get me across, but that seems unlikely. Ah, wow, how was I supposed to put something there? If nothing moves. I can't cross the... What? This is permanent, right? Yeah, it's permanent. I have to step here. A cloud would not activate this, but that doesn't make a difference. Like, I can't do anything here. Yeah, what? There's just no way. Huh? This looks impossible. I think this is the earliest I've ever declared a puzzle to look impossible. Because I straight up have no idea what I could even do here. There can't be that many obscure mechanics in the game that let me do anything, right? Like, using just the properties of vines and clouds, I don't think it's enough. Is there something really obscure here that I need to use? Oh, what? I'm just trying to figure out, like... It has to be me that steps on this. Okay, well... Is there any other way to get a bean down here? I don't think so, because that requires either the death of a monster or a vine to pull something across, neither of which seem possible. The vine must pull right directly across it, so there can't be blocks on opposite sides. There can't be blockages on opposite sides. Clouds, I don't know what clouds are gonna do. I can't, like, to put a bean down in some other way. I can't kill anything. So therefore, the only way to put a bean down and grow is to stand on the spot there to put the bean down. But, like, that's also not possible. Because then I stand here anyway. So, like, I am... I don't want to say certain, but I'm leaning towards the idea of standing there myself and then finding a way across. But I also feel that's impossible. Because the way across right now appears to be being grabbed by a vine across the top row. Which is the only row that's actually, like, completely unobstructed, by the way. So maybe that's something I need to think about. The fact that the top row is unobstructed. It could be possible to get, like, vines to pull stuff. I'm wondering if like, any of this infrastructure would help me either. Oh! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. These do different things, too, to these. So, hold on. That's why that's why it would be possible. So, if I stood here, and I put a bean down here, that opens. I see, okay. And then similarly that opens this. And so the idea is to have this open, have the other one open, and then walk through the top passage. And that will allow me to enter here one final time. And then at this point, there must be some way to remove these. Okay. That makes a lot more sense, but I guess the difficulty is in removing these guys. Yeah. Okay. I definitely want to start doing some preparation work first instead of... Yeah. So how... Okay, I think the difficulty would be this guy. How would I remove you? It looks like this spot is the only place a vine can... can a vine even pull up from that far? Hold on. Well, okay, I do notice... What? I do notice that this is actually not tiled. Meaning that if there were a red recipe... Yeah, you can't grab from that far. In fact, it's a bit too far. It's like one space too far. But the idea is that if there were a valid recipe for red, I could get a cloud to shoot it and turn it into something that doesn't have a red bean containing it. Oh, doesn't contain a red bean, and therefore this would be resolved. This one... Oh, this one activates that, so... It might be more difficult than I think to set up a cloud here. Because if I set up a cloud here and I, for example, like stepped here, if the cloud were to shoot the red bean here... Okay, if the cloud were to shoot a red bean here, it will open these, it will close these gates and I wouldn't pass through. However, if there were no red recipe, that might appear to work. Appear to work. Because the vine would try to shoot the red bean but nothing would come out. I could then walk through. But that is also a problem because even after changing the recipe to be valid, the cloud doesn't reshoot the red bean. This is a mechanic we've learned before. The cloud's line of sight must explicitly be blocked and then reformed for a cloud to shoot something again. So if there was a cloud here to shoot this here, there must also be a way to reform the line of sight. And that could be done in multiple ways. I'm thinking, you know, potentially... Okay, potentially, a vine that grabs something could block a cloud's line of sight and reopen it, right? Right, so the idea... The idea is to get a vine to grab this bean, then form the recipe for it. But this must be done extremely quickly. Because the vine has one turn to grab, and then 1, 2, 3. I think the grabbing. Oh, hold on, no. Wait a minute. A being grabbed by the vine would also be hit by the cloud. And if that were to form something we don't... Oh no, this is tiled, so nothing forms. So you get one turn of grabbing from here, then second turn, third turn, fourth turn. On the fifth turn, when the vine's arm is here, the cloud can reshoot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm one turn away from setting a recipe. Actually, I'm like 2 turns away, I think. Because the cloud shoots instantly. So not only do I have to be on the recipe early, no, it's not possible. However, it might be possible if a vine... Oh, okay. If a vine grabs a recipe across the line at the same time, wow, that is a tall order. But not impossible. It needs to be a red bean. Okay, so it could be that I am going to set up... okay, let's see how do I do this. So cloud only shoots down. All I need to do is, I think what I want to do is set up a cloud here. I'm leaving a white bean here because I want to turn that into a vine. But of course the cloud must form first. I can set the recipe of cloud to be like so. And now because all the beans are already set. No, I gotta put the beans back. Hold on, question. Will putting a bean here preemptively open, like... No, the gates will be left open, right? Because these specifically open gates. They don't toggle them on and off. Okay. So I can put you down first. I feel like we're missing... Like, we're 100% missing out on beans, dude. There's not enough. There's definitely not enough beans to go around. So like, I can start by putting a cloud here. Yeah, there's no red recipe, so cloud shoots there. Okay, see, the idea is if I were to somehow block your line of sight and then reform it, you immediately hit this. So if I stand here... Oh, whoa. Okay, that's not what I expected. These guys stay open. I don't like that. Okay, wait, that might make things a bit more complicated, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, I'm like out of beans already. I want to put a vine here. Oh, I need a white... See, I need a white bean there as well. There's just very little I can do. I'm somehow out of beans super early on. So like, I'm fairly certain actually, no, hold on. Hold on. I can't... hold on, let me just grab the beans I need. I can't put these beans early, can I? Wait, can I? Wait, I'm confused. Yeah, see, you mean to open that, but because I put you down first before closing, it doesn't work. I need to leave and come back before you open again. That is to say that I necessarily need to close the gates before putting these beans down. That is interesting. And it's not permanent either. Ah, okay. So yeah, if the gates are closed to start, how in the world is... Ah, wait, no, the door will open your line of sight again. Therefore... hold on. Let me think about this. Therefore... I mean, if I put a white beam here, it opens immediately. If there were a cloud here, it would already shoot downwards. Which I don't necessarily like. I would say... If there was a white beam here... It could get grabbed across, but the problem is that the white beam needs to be here while I walk across, right? I could put 2 white beans here, but that's a lot of white beans. Like, white bean here, white bean here. The first white bean lets me through. When the vine over here grabs that white bean, it closes this gate, and when it grabs the second white bean and pulls it across, it reopens your line of sight. So the white bean here, when moved out of the way, closes this gate. Second white bean pulled across, reopens it. Yeah, but that's a lot of white beans. I don't know if that's, like, good. I guess that means we don't actually need any pulling across here anymore, right? Okay, so then we can save on white beans. The thing I want to do now is I just want this to be up there. Okay, then I want a vine here. And I want a cloud. Okay, so I'm gonna start by putting the white beans in place. How do I get past the cloud with another bean? Like, how many beans do I need for this? The cloud has to be white because the red bean here has to have a recipe corresponding to it. So the 2 red beans are immediately forced. The cloud cannot be made of a red bean. The cloud must be made of a white bean. So the idea is to do this and then this. Ah, wait a minute. This can be a vine, right? If it were a vine, it would pull the second white bean in, and that's good enough. Okay. So we start by setting a recipe to be cloud. I leave the red bean here. Cloud. Okay. Actually, no cloud yet. I need to close the door to block line of sight. Open the door with this white bean. That white bean will eventually become a vine. Leave you here to open you again. Then cloud exists. I walk in here. This bean will become a vine, which pulls in. So it closes and then reopens immediately. But at the same time, the recipe down here needs to be an active recipe, therefore cloud, therefore that, closes gate, reopens gate, activates. Crap, this needs to go away. Is this possible? Yeah, but like that's not good, right? I need to get in here. Timing wise, it should be possible if I could, like, if the beam was here, I guess I could shoot up and walk in. I guess, but like then it doesn't make any sense because I couldn't exit anymore. Like I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to do anything here, I think. Maybe this is fine. Don't grab me first. Yeah, but this doesn't reopen. And that's a problem, right? Yeah, it needs to reopen. So like, I don't know how to get it to reopen. I couldn't have started off with a bean, where? Here? No, because then I couldn't even walk through here. So like, this looks like the best, but there's just no way I can do it. Right, can I? if like cloud here does that. Yeah, that looks so close. It's just I need to stand here to shoot that, and I don't like that I have to do that. I really wish I could have, you know, just this as a setup, but it doesn't seem to work either. Like, now I'm short of one bean, I guess, to turn, like, if I could have a vine here, that would be very nice. So vine here pulls across, closes you, and then reopens you. I mean, it doesn't have to be like that. It could be a lot of different things. It could be a cloud that's up here as well, but no, that just requires an extra bean in general. I always need an extra bean. Because a cloud could turn you into a... I don't know what a cloud could turn you into. A cloud could turn you into... It could turn you into another cloud, I guess. Which closes you. But then how would it... Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it could be a cloud that turns you into a vine, but I don't know how to get a second cloud in. This looks really close though, so I kind of like the idea. I just need to find a way to get it to all work out. If I put you here instead, would that be better? It might be better. It might actually give me a bit more time, wouldn't it? Yeah, if you pulled from here instead. Okay, okay. So instead of pulling from here, you pull from here. And that should be fine, I think. Unless there's some weird additional trick that I didn't foresee. Everything should work. Okay, so initially I can shoot here to close the gate. You'll be busy grabbing that while I walk in. Yeah, and now I'm putting yellow here, a white here, you reopen, you shoot, and I walk in. Okay. So yeah, I don't know why I put a second bean here. I could have put the second bean here. Didn't see that. But I did, and it eventually worked out. So yeah, there you go. That solves the puzzle. That was fun. I had to analyze it a lot, actually. This was one of the puzzles I had to analyze a lot more. I guess it was because the machinery in here was just a lot more complicated. Does it actually work if I stand on this? Oh, it doesn't. Interesting. The machinery stops working once I solve the puzzle. Yeah, so the fact that there was a lot more machinery to work with, I guess, is what results in me having to analyze the puzzle a lot more into detail. But that's okay. I enjoy that kind of thing. Okay, that leaves us with just one more puzzle. One more 3-bean. Thunderous Guardian. Yeah, let's try that, I guess. And then, you know, we'll be handling into the 4-bean puzzles, and then we'll see what we can do about those. Thunderous Guardian. Okay, so we have a single Thunderous Guardian over here. Each of these are connected to a single white bean. But of course, I think it's difficult to put a white bean here. I could put a roller here, using a roller here, and then kill it with a bomb. That puts a white bean down. Oh, no, 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 no. So I'll remove the recipe for you. How would I kill this? How would I kill this roller? Like, if the roller was here, what position could exist that would destroy you? Like, a bomb wouldn't be able to hit you. And like, the tiles I think are placed perfectly to prevent me from pushing a bomb into you. So death here is actually pretty difficult to work with. Interesting. And I can't just have a bean in here at all, straight up, not possible. And then I can put the 2 white beans here, no worries. It's just getting a white bean there, I think that's the problem. And I can... Yeah, so with 4 white beans, 3 white beans here would mean that I can afford to lose 1 white bean, which I assume has to be a singular bomb made from 1 white bean. That's it. That's all I can afford to lose. And the difficulty is obviously trying to kill this this guy. Okay, so another thing I can do, I guess, is to lure you in here, and then to lure you in here. But how is that going to help me? I don't know. Yeah, also, why in the world would I have access to you? Why could I stand here? Oh, I'm sorry. Would a roller roll up here and do stuff? A roller rolling up here actually is useful. Hold on. It blocks line of sight in some way, and I can retrieve it. So here, I can shoot you and then move away. And yeah, you block line of sight, allowing me to do stuff here. And then once I'm done, I can pull you back down, and I can attract you back to your starting spot. So there must have been some way to use this idea to do work. Like, why are these cells important then? Why in the world? Well, okay, I could theoretically do the same thing by putting the roller here and then doing work down here. The only bigger issues are, like, firstly, these 3 cells are tiled. Secondly, the roller does have access to roll and downwards and hit me. So I can't just put a bomb here. But why would I want to put a bomb here? Actually, I might have a more interesting idea, which is if a roller rolls into a bomb, that would bounce the bomb off and then back into the roller, which destroys both the roller here and potentially a roller here. I think I see the issue with that is that loses a bean, definitely. Or does it? Or does it? Hold on. Yes, I think it does. So, doing the math here, roller bomb is 3 beans, which means I only have 1 bean remaining. Therefore, the recipe of the roller must be set to 1 singular white bean. Any less and I'm definitely losing beans, and I can't do any more. If I did more, that would be interesting, but the issue would still be the same, is that whatever bean comes out of the roller, whatever bean I set the recipe to, if there were a recipe set, then the cloud would definitely shoot it and turn that back into a roller. I could nullify that if there were confusion by having both recipes be the same. But once again, with only 1 bean, that's difficult. That's actually impossible. So yeah. The idea of roller hitting bomb. Could I generate more beans? I think, again, with 4 beans, it's not possible to generate more beans. Actually, no, yeah, it's possible. It's impossible. Because 1 roller plus 1 bomb is 2 beans at minimum. The remaining 2 beans, if I set the roller recipe to the maximum value, that would then result in the roller giving me 2 beans. So with the 2 beans on the recipe plus the 2 beans from the roller, you get 4 beans. It's a net 0. So 4 beans is definitely not possible to gain more beans in this way. Okay. So we only have 4 beans. Rollers here. No, not rollers. Sorry, beans here. Why? Why does roller... Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a roller. It could be a bomb that's pushed upwards, but... like, I don't see the point in that. It could be something that I use to block and... I can block and reopen a... No, I don't think so. Huh, I don't know. What could I do? I don't know. Sorry, let's just try the other idea, the idea that I had. So here, oh, no, I need you to be here. And then I'll set another one up. Okay, so I'll set up the bomb first, like this. Then I'll set you back down. And now I'll set another roller down here. So this is the idea that I had, right? Is that a roller comes and hits the bomb rebounds. Oh, don't do that. And blows up. But the problem is, once this gets blown up, the cloud will shoot down at it and turn it back into a roller, making the death of this roller virtually impossible. And I would say it doesn't make sense for there to be no recipe, because then like you won't get any white beam ever. It doesn't make sense. Okay. This is surprisingly... What is this? Oh, this hits that and this hits that. Okay. These are surprisingly close to the doors that they control, and I'm wondering if there's anything suspicious going on there. Is there any reason why these are so close down here? I mean, this guy is the last thing I need a white bean on. And like... If a roller dies here and gets reshot immediately, this never opens. So it's an instant respawn, which prevents me from, prevents this gate from ever opening. So there's just no way that's gonna work. Yeah, okay. So the other thing I'm thinking of is that since it's somehow possible to actually get line of sight blocked here, right? I'm thinking there might be something vertical happening down here. But I don't see how that's useful. Now that I can bring beans up here for some reason. I need to blow you up with the bombs. And because I want you to have a single white bean, there must be confusion, yeah. There must be confusion, meaning that we must have 2 bombs remaining out of this whole endeavor. Okay, well, I have another idea. I say another idea. My other idea is to kill you and turn you into a bomb, a bean. Okay, I'm gonna leave you here first. I'm gonna let you come down. Okay. Get you to come up. Put a bomb here. And then reset your recipe. So now when you actually die, the white bean here prevents any confusion. Sorry, produces confusion. Why is that helpful? Why did I do that? No idea, this is tile, it's not gonna help me. And I don't know how it blocks. It blocks line of sight, but a roller did that just fine. I mean, yeah, I can shoot it, but that's not gonna help. I can't do that here because, like, the vertical line killing this roller is available, whereas the horizontal line killing this roller is not. I think there's also some suspicion with this going on here. Like, come on, what? What? I don't know. Like, if we figure out all the necessary things, we realize that it must be a single roller and a single bomb plus some sort of confusion here, which requires 2 beans. So isn't that exactly what we have? We need to do this like without wasting anything, not even temporarily. Like, I could create a few net zero scenarios to set things up, I guess. So the idea is that because we can use 4 beans to create net zeros all the time, I can do interesting things to have those net zeros put beans in interesting locations, I guess. And like, maybe this structure has something to do about it? This infrastructure here. I don't think so. Okay, if I put 2 beans immediately here and here, does that... Oh! does that immediately give us some space to do things? Like, it opens up these two squares, but like, how is that useful? I don't know. 2 squares is not useful. Like, I don't foresee any possible reason why that would be useful. So yeah, roller rolling here. Okay, well, could it be that the death of a roller puts a bean here, causing the confusion? Because the setup that we had was roller here, bomb here, then roller here, right? And then there was a white bean here because we wanted that to be the recipe of the roller. If the roller died here, or firstly, that would mean the explosion must occur here to get both you and you, which looks actually pretty difficult. Firstly, and like, I don't know if that will work, but like, hypothetically, would that drop a bean here, causing a confusion, preventing you from shooting? Because like, that makes sense, right? First, the explosion must occur to kill these guys. Upon death, the beans drop, which should hopefully immediately cause the confusion, preventing you from shooting again. The shoot happens after the drop of the beans, so like, that makes sense. It's just, okay, how do I set it up so that a roller dies here and here at the same time? The bomb must explode here, and like, in neither, there is no way. Actually, if two objects collided, so the back movement of a bomb and the rolling forward of the roller could result in a collision that puts all 3 objects in line. Okay, I think that's an idea. I can definitely just put this roller down first. Next, I can set up the bomb here. I'm gonna put this roller back, and then put a bean here. Okay, so then I'll put you back. So the idea is to get the back movement of the bomb after bouncing off to also collide with the bomb. Okay, does this work? No. I need to wait for you to turn around, then move down to attract you. No. I need to move you down. Wait, does this never work? Oh, no, there you go. So the next move by right, this roller rolls forward, this bomb moves downward. However, hopefully, the collision of these two sets them in these 2 spots exactly, which causes a white bean to fall here because of this recipe, which causes 2 white beans separately in these 2 recipes, causing confusion, preventing this cloud from shooting this white bean here. No, wait, no, that didn't work. The explosion occurred down here. But why? Does bomb motion have precedence? I guess so. So the idea is that bomb moves downward, then roller rolls into it, then explosion. Yeah. And is there any way I could like make this different by like waiting and then shooting you down? Like, this is late. So if I made it earlier by shoving you at the same time, no, then they cross. So that's never gonna happen. Like, it seems like if they do in fact collide, wait, I'm confused. What is the movement? If they do in fact collide like this, then it's never going to work because you always move extra space down. And I don't think it's possible for him to adapt this order of operations here. I don't think it's possible for me to adapt the order of operations correctly here. Ah, but this looks so close. This feels very close. But yeah, because of this, like, it's always going to be that this roller rolls adjacent to this guy. If we had these guys meet up horizontally, right, then like one would definitely slip past the other. This is the only way they can collide with each other, and the only way that they collide with each other results in an explosion that's in the wrong spot. So I don't think this works. I don't think I can save this sort of scenario. Like, it definitely wouldn't... would it work vertically if, like, for some reason, like, your pouncing makes a difference? Like, I don't know why it would make a difference, but, like, it could potentially make a difference. No, it's the exact same. Okay. The pouncing doesn't work. This is a flawed solution. I feel like I'm getting at something really interesting here, though. But the issue is... Hold on, okay. Let me do another check. Where does the bean land? Does the bean lands in a different spot? If like the bean lands in the middle here, that would be very interesting, I would say. No, the bean lands here. We did see that the roller did collide with something in front of it, so the bean lands in the right spot. Okay. The explosion doesn't, and I don't know how to stop the explosion. Like, this definitely works, I guess. So yeah, we have proven that this works. So in fact, the confusion does occur. Okay, so this is something we're going to try and work towards via other setups. Okay. What other setups could exist to result in something like that occurring? Well, a roller rolling into the spot from either direction would never ever collide with a bomb, right? Like, if a roller, yeah, if a roller were here and a bomb were here moving forward, let's say, the roller would have to move forward before the bomb moves. Actually, that might not be true. Hold on, I want to test something out. If we know the bomb's movement takes precedence... hold on, I gotta set the recipe. Okay, let's set the recipe of the bomb first, because that's easier to work with. I'm gonna leave you alone. If we know that the bomb's movement comes first, then a way that we can get a collision to work is if, for example, a roller moving vertically, a bomb moving horizontally, a roller moves in front... but no, we know that... Let's see that happens. If I did it any earlier, and the roller moves in front of the bomb, for some reason, the roller does slip past the roller. So the bomb slips past the roller. Now, why is that? Do we not already like establish that the bomb moves first? So why doesn't the bomb collide with the roller? And yet, in the other scenario, where it was instead this, the roller does stop. Like, the bomb and the roller... Why? I'm so confused by this order of operations. It doesn't make sense to me. And, like, I have no idea how I'm going to use this to help me solve this puzzle. Okay, I'm thinking that another way I could do this is... well, no. Oh, maybe. If the... If the explosion occurred here while another roller was rolling this way... Yeah, actually, instead of putting the bean here, I could put the bean here. So I set up the 2 rollers first, then I set up the bomb. Right? Yeah. Why wouldn't that? I think that would work. Okay. Okay, so let's test that out. So I put this roller down. It goes here. Okay, then I set another roller up. Okay, hold on. You go back. You go up. You go here. Okay, the 2 rollers are set up. Okay. Now I put a bomb down. Like here, I guess? No, hold on. It has to be... Wait a minute, what am I doing? What if it went... Actually, if it went up instead, that might be more interesting. Yeah, actually, no. Okay, firstly, the explosion has to be here. That's the difficulty. Here or here. Okay, I think I've done this a bit wrong. I may or may not need a second roll to be in the same row. Okay, so it will collide, yeah, I know. I can do this, set the bomb up. And do this. How about that? Oh, there's no recipe for the bomb. For the roller. Wait, yeah, then isn't that this just goes against everything that we said would happen. Like the roller needs to have the recipe down there. Okay, then this just doesn't work then. The white bean has to be here. Yeah, okay, then that doesn't work. Like, let's say I did this correctly. I put the bean back here. What? Okay, welcome to another episode of how is this like an actual valid mechanic? So the way this works is apparently... Oh, I get it, okay. These die at the same time. And at the time of death, both rollers are single bean recipes. Therefore, you drop 1 bean, you drop 1 bean. Right, that immediately sets your recipe to 2 beans, therefore this is invalid, therefore you don't get turned into an actual roller. Because I was assuming at this point this roller will become 2 beans. But of course that's not true, there was never 2 beans here, there's only 1 bean. This will eventually have 2 beans on it, but this dies before that happens. Okay, that makes a lot more sense to me now. Okay. I see, I understand. Okay. This angers me a lot less than the previous level, the other one right here. Yeah, you could logically figure this out. Okay, I accept it. Okay, well that's another puzzle done. We got 2 puzzles done this episode, which I think is amazing. Next episode we'll do the remaining puzzles. Well, I say remaining puzzles, plural, but I'm probably only going to work on just one. If we went clockwise, I think we're gonna have to start from here and then going clockwise. Actually, there are 4 puzzles. There's one here that's red that I accidentally walked into. So there's 4 puzzles left. So yeah. We will do these puzzles next episode. Until then though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.